Hello everyone, welcome once again to Vivid Collectibles. My name is Danny, and tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the Nightcrawler premium format figure by Sideshow Collectibles. This is a statue that really kind of took me by surprise in terms of how big it is, right? You got the Sentinel hand and then Nightcrawler above that with his Banff powers. It's bigger than you think, it's wider than you think. And even if you read the dimensions, when you get him in hand, he's hefty, and the colors really pop on this. Again, I think Sideshow hit a home run with this. I know XM has their own version, which also looks really good. Sideshow seems to be more comic accurate, whereas it seems like the XM version has a little bit more of realism involved. They're both very nice. I'm not knocking either piece. But I really like what Sideshow did with this in terms of the comic book accuracy of it. So let's get right into this review. Okay, so before I get into this review, I got him through Sideshow Seconds back when he first came out, because you can save 15%. Okay, and I've had nothing but good experiences with Sideshow Seconds so far until I got this guy. Now, he was, as far as the piece itself, completely intact. This is the exclusive with the dual cutlasses, and again, he's completely intact. There was no damage, nothing, no scuffs. But I got a secondary brown box, shipper box, with just the foam insert. There was no art box at all. I'd never experienced that. And to me, like, if you don't have the art box, that's tough for me to swallow. I was not happy with that. And I reached out to them, and Sideshow's usually like 10 out of 10 with customer service. And they were implying to me that I should complain that there was a breakage. She was like, "Is the statue damaged?" And I said, "No, it's not." So there's nothing they could do about it. They couldn't find an art box for me. And I did buy it through Seconds, and I didn't read the fine print. And it does say in Seconds that you may not get an art box. And that was a little frustrating. But nonetheless, the statue was in one piece. I do have the foam insert. So it's not the end of the world, but it is kind of bothers me because that is a nice art box if you've seen it in other reviews. So let's get into this review. So the base is basically his Banff powers, right? You see this like purple smoke effect, and it's so vibrant. It's so beautiful. Look at all the dark purples and light purples, right? The shading as it goes on. It's really nice. I love the way they did that. So that's your sub base basically. And then it's this gigantic Sentinel hand with the turquoise blue, metallic blues, and then those like charcoal grays right above the knuckles. Look at the paint job on this and the sculpt. It's unreal. It's a big quarter scale piece. That base is very big. I was not expecting it to be this big. It took me by surprise. And then you see that eye in the center of the hand. It almost looks like an egg yolk. Very nicely painted and sculpted. Again, look at the textures and the paint job on this. And you can see the wear and tear on it. Phenomenal job on this base by Sideshow. It's probably my favorite of the X-Men bases. And they've got some really good ones with the Gambit and Rogue. I mean, they just have some great bases. And I think overall, the Sideshow's X-Men line is amazing. They've done a great job. So, enough raving about this base, which is really nice. And then you have the Banff powers. Obviously, we have to talk about these seams that are on the base that really, for me, honestly, are not a big deal. I know they're there, but when you're looking at the statue, there's so much going on. Your eye never goes to the seams unless you're looking for them specifically. So for me, it's a non-issue at all. I think it looks really good. So on to Nightcrawler himself, Mr. Kurt Wagner. This is one of his feet. It pegs right in here. again, there's always concerns with leaning issues with these statues. But like I've stated before, I have example after example that they do not lean. You know, from the Flash, Gambit, Rogue, I now have the brand new Zatanna. We'll see, you know, time will tell with that. But none of them have leaned. And I think they've gotten the engineering down to a science where it's just not an issue. Big enough pegs, and their weight distribution really matters with these. So, white feet, right? You have his 2 toes right there. And the white with the purple. You see the purple highlights on it. Looks great. The costume is very, very smooth. Now, some people don't like that there's no texturing. I think it's minimal texture on this. For me, texturing is great when it actually applies and it makes a difference. A smooth costume doesn't bother me when it's done right. And in my opinion, this is done right. So let's continue to move up. The leg, look at the red above the boots. Looks great. You can see all the little folds and all the little details on that. The stitching. Really, really nice job by Sideshow. Then we have his dark blue and black. Basically, it's like a whole bodysuit, right? And that looks really good. Again, look at the folds. Nice wrinkles. Great shading. Some of that purple shading that goes with the Banff. I think it looks really good. And then his tail. A dark blue with some blacks on it. Looks absolutely amazing. And then again, the flow of it, right? It has this movement to it, which really adds to the statue. Look at all that. You can see the rib cage. He's a very athletic, slim X-Men, right? But you can see there's some musculature. Musculature there. But he's a slim guy. He's basically just very agile. Look at his fingers. Again, the folds on the outfit. And then that red. I love the combination of the reds with the dark blues, with the purples. It really looks good. You see where he's stressing the outfit right there. Look at the folds. Really phenomenal work. Look at the shoulder work, the back, the muscles. Small muscles, but they're there. They're detailed. And then the portrait. The portrait is a huge standout. Now, maybe he lacks a little bit of expression, but you can see a lot of definition on this portrait. Look at all that. Look at the wrinkle lines, the bright yellow eyes, the eyebrows, the lashes, and the hair is done impeccable. A lot of wavy detail went into this. Black and blue, those elf-like ears, a lot of great detail. Very nice portrait. Look at the arms. Again, the detail on the gloves. And then look at these cutlasses. A lot of nice paintwork. Some textures there. Right? So I chose with the cutlass in the back and just a regular arm in the front. And I like that really, really good. You can go with, 2 cutlets. The cutlasses, which I think is a little much, but it looks good. Right? You can get away with it. Or you can skip the swords altogether and just go with this regular arm. You really can't go wrong with this. It's not exclusive of bust, but the exclusive is nice to have. The cutlasses are plastic. They're solid plastic though. They're not bendable, they're not weak. But they could break because they're not bendable, right? But they're painted nicely. Right, metallic. And some of that purple highlight, a little bit of it on the edges. The handles are really nicely done. It's a really nice statue. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a 360, right? Which I kind of did a little already, but I can't say enough about this base. The base is really, really nice. And the colors on this really, really, really pop. Great piece. Really nice addition to your X-Men. My only gripe is, at least for me personally, I got them through seconds and I didn't get an art box. And this is one of the nicest, if not the nicest, art box Sideshow has produced. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the thoughts if you have them, what you think of them. Or if you prefer the XF Studios one, which I think is nice as well. Once again, thanks for watching. Take care.